I mean, the impact of such a great deal coming through, I think, just hit the internet by storm. Yeah. It's what they ask for. It's their only reward they ask for. Hits you right in the feels.
It's working! It's working!
To me, he's going to screenshot whichever of the two streams has the lesser number, and he's going to be like, dude, I absolutely trashed your numbers today. I'm like, all right, Dan. So hit like and subscribe. Give me some ammo versus Mandis. All right, still happening inside the Oval Office. We have Donald Trump breaking down the trade deal between the UK. The reporters are asking a lot of questions. U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer said, hey guys, do you remember... Do you remember when you said that Donald Trump couldn't get this kind of stuff done? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. You said he couldn't do it, yet here we are.
Happy to do that. Everyone has had great remarks. I just have to echo the President and the Prime Minister when we talk about VE Day. This is something we've been waiting for decades, and there is no more appropriate day to do this. And when we step back and we look back a few weeks from now or months from now or years from now, we're going to look back at this day and better appreciate the significance, I think. And I'll just say as well, in terms of negotiating, I mean, the UK negotiators, we've got one right here, did an incredible job, right? This is why you win wars, right? When you act like this. And the ambassador, he knows more about trade than a lot of us here based on his background. And I would say on this deal, Mr. President, what we've shown is that it is time to change the way we do trade. People said we couldn't do a global tariff. We did a global tariff. They said no one would want to deal with us. People want a deal. They said no one give offers. You saw that stack of offers I showed you yesterday, all those countries. Said we wouldn't get deals, and here we are with a deal with the 6th largest economy. We've agreed to have fair and reciprocal trade, and we've done it in record time.
Oh, what's that you say? People said it couldn't be done, and we're under budget, ahead of schedule once again with the Trump administration? Weird. Who could have seen this coming? Maybe just the Trump administration. Maybe. The British ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, he had some comments too. Now, he goes by Lord Peter Mandelson. Not a fan of the Lord thing that the Brits do. I don't know. I got one Lord. Jesus Christ. Maybe you've heard of him. But this is Lord, what's his name? Lord Peter Mandelson. Let's hear from Big Pete.
Mr. President, thank you very much indeed in hosting us this morning. And thank you very much indeed also for that very typical 11th hour intervention by you with your phone call to the President, demanding even more out of this deal than any of us expected. So
11th hour phone. Thank you for the 11th hour phone call demanding more. Just so you understand, President Trump is always fighting for the American people. Our boy over there, the ambassador to the U.S. from Britain, Lord Peter Mandelson, said that Donald Trump made an 11th hour phone call demanding more. Classic Trump.
So thank you for that. The Prime Minister was delighted, obviously, to take that call later tonight. But you took it to another level, and I think the point I would make is twofold. One is that if we're going to rebalance and rebuild international trade in a way that serves all our interests, then we're better doing that together than separately and apart, and that's what we're on a mission to do. But secondly, you've done what you said you would do. You said to the Prime Minister when he came and we visited in the Oval that you would do a good trade deal with the United Kingdom, that you would do it at pace, and that we would be first. And you have delivered that.
Oh, what's that you say? England confirming promises made, promises kept. Oh, got it.
You've been true to your word. So thank you very much indeed for that. For us, it's not the end. It's it's the end just of the beginning. I mean, there is yet more we can do in reducing tariffs and trade barriers so as to open up our markets to each other even more than we're agreeing to do today. But it also provides us with the platform, the springboard, to do what I think will be even more valuable for both our countries in the future, and that's creating a technology partnership between the United States and the United Kingdom, so that we can harness science and technology in order to create future industries and future jobs, and to do that together in the way we work so closely already in the national security and defense area. We can just take that to yet further areas of science, enterprise and endeavor. So we're looking forward to doing that in the coming months. You've launched us extremely well today. It just, in my view, as the Prime Minister has said, just shows what two countries who trust each other, who are confident in each other and are familiar with each other can do, not just for ourselves, but for the rest of the world who need to benefit from a bigger and better international trading system.
That's Lord Peter Mandelson, British ambassador to the U.S. Get that chap a biscuit, singing Donald Trump's praises, saying that he called him at the 11th hour demanding more. Classic Trump, right? Is that not classic Trump? Peter, this is terrible. What are you doing to us? We're going to make an announcement tomorrow. This is what you got for me? Come on. We're going to need more. We're going to need more. I wouldn't want anybody else negotiating on behalf of the American people than Donald Trump. I wouldn't. Would you? Trump said moments ago inside the Oval Office that this deal is good for both countries and it's going to open up a tremendous market for the U.S. and that this is a maxed out deal that they're going to make even bigger. This is moments ago inside the Oval Office.
I think that it's a great deal for both parties. It's for us. We're opened up. I didn't know how closed it was. Quite closed, the market, as you know, the UK, and it opens up a tremendous market for us, and it works out very well, and a lot of assets. You see the chart, and those are tremendous assets. But we've been trying, and when you say why us, meaning your country, we've been trying for years, and they've been trying for years to make a deal, including when I was in the, first term. It would always be people talking, but they weren't getting it done. But for 25 years before that, they were trying always to make a deal, a very significant deal. I actually, until I looked at the numbers, I didn't realize this is a very conclusive deal, but we think we can grow it even from that. But this is a maxed out deal, not like you said it. You said it really incorrectly. This is a maxed out deal that we're going to make bigger.
Maxed out deal that we're going to make big. Well, then it wouldn't be. I don't want to be critical. But if something's maxed out, how do you make it bigger? I don't know. I don't want to criticize. It's a big day. It's a big day. It's a big announcement. Maybe I'm focusing on too much. Maybe I'm down in the weeds a bit.
Think bigger.
Maybe I'm not thinking big enough.
Yeah. Expand your scopes. Get outside the box.
I'll try.
And we make it bigger through growth. But we have tremendous assets involved. I was surprised to see how big your country is in trade, actually. One of the biggest in technology and so many other things. It's agriculture. I really didn't know. It's depending on your definition, it's from 4 to 5 to 6. That's pretty big in the world. So I was very impressed by that. But we're going to take it to new levels. It's a very big deal right now, but I think it is going to grow just of its own volition. It's going to grow, and over time there'll be changes made. There'll be adjustments made because we're flexible. We'll see things that we can do even better. But it's very conclusive, and we think everyone's going to be happy, and the people of your country are going to be very impressed with the result. And they'll be able to buy from more people. They'll be able to price things differently. They'll be able to get some products that aren't available to them now that we make better than anybody in the world. And it's just something that it's a great thing that it came together. It's so nice because we have many countries want to make a deal, and many countries are very unhappy that we happen to choose this one, to be honest with you. But
other countries very upset that Britain got first dibs, salty. Donald Trump saying there that we have many more deals to come, which led the press to asking him, okay, how close are you to making more deals? To which the president answered, very, we're very close.
How close are you to more deals, and when do you expect the next to be announced?
Well, very close. We have numerous deals. I know Howard's going back. As soon as this is finished, your press conference, he's got numerous. And Scott, who's right over here, who's fantastic, by the way. You were great on television this morning. I watched you.
Scott's been
a
busy.
little lesson in the world and economics. But Scott's going to be going to Switzerland, meeting with China. And
Wait. We're meeting with who in Switzerland?
China.
Okay, thank you.
They very much want to make a deal. We can all play games. Who made the first call? Who didn't make the? It doesn't matter. It only matters what happens in that room. But I will tell you that China very much wants to make a deal. We'll see how that works out.
I love the way he said we could play games. Who made the first call? Because that's what the media is looking for, right? And that's what the media has been asking. Scott Bessent's been asked that. Trump's been asked that. Who made the first call? Who's bending the knee here? Because the media wants to say that Trump is capitulating to China.
You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the press wants to use this to bludgeon Trump, and they want to say that he called China first and he's bending the knee. But Trump made the right statement. Who cares? What does the end result look like? That's what we should have our eyes on. And also, the way communication flows, it's like, well, when do you decide what was the first call? Like they've been on the phone nonstop for a while now. So what matters is the end result.
Every country throughout the last 40, 50 years has literally ripped off the United States on trade, on military, on protection, on all the different things. And we are now making fair deals. And in this case, it's great because we really weren't very much involved. You have the European Union, which is, I think you made the right decision years ago. I don't know if you remember, I was opening up Turnberry the day that you were voting. And they asked me, would it happen or would it not happen? I said, no, I think they're going to go their own separate way. I think it's better for them.
Yep.
And they did. I think it's going to end up being a very smart decision. But a big part of that decision was always that you'd be able to make a deal with the United States. And they were unable to do that. But now they made it. And it's a tremendous, it's very important.
It's a big, beautiful deal with the UK. That's Donald Trump in the Oval Office. The press had some more questions for him, and they ran through a gambit of issues from the tariff on foreign-produced films to how does this affect agriculture in America, and what's the deal with tariffs and China. We'll bring you all those highlights when we get back. It is 10:51 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand, and if you haven't had your AC tuned up yet, it's time. Call Busy Bee today, because before you know it, those hot temperatures are going to be here, and they aren't going to be going anywhere. And they're making it easier for you to save some money. Those TVA rebates have been extended, and right now, if you install a mini-split system rated 17 SEER 2 or higher, you can get up to $800 back. And on top of that, qualifying customers can get 12 months with no payment and no interest, depending on your credit, of course. But here's the smart move. With all these rebates, you're going to get a $50 back when you tune up your AC. And then you'll get a $50 rebate back when you tune up in fall for the colder temperatures as well. So if you do some quick napkin math, that's $100 back. Now, the Busy Bee Beehive Club membership packages start at just $99. You can make the argument that Busy Bee is paying you to become a member of the Beehive Club, and it comes with so much value. Front of the line service. No overtime or holiday fees. 10% off all repairs. A $100 annual accrued replacement credit with a maximum of $1,000 and exclusive Beehive member deals. So don't wait. Plus, if you buy one right now, you get one of equal or lesser value for free. That's happening all month long with Busy Bee and the Beehive membership. Call them today, 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833. They're online too, busybeehvac.com.
All right, drivers, got a stalled vehicle blocking the right two lanes, 24 westbound, right before at Old Hickory Boulevard North in Whites Creek. Then in Smyrna, we've got roadblocks. Right two lanes blocked, fixing potholes, 24 eastbound at Sam Ridley Parkway. And at Keir Starmer. All right, drivers, got a stalled vehicle. Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of Great Britain, likes this new deal that President Trump has announced. You'll hear from him coming up at 11 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Sorry, Ken, I didn't mean to inception you there. I didn't realize. So I pulled up the second stream because our YouTube stream crashed. So I just pulled it up to see if it was working, and it had the commercial screen on it, and I didn't realize that it wasn't muted. And so it threw me off too.
It threw me way off.
I was just as confused as anybody.
Ken's just talking to himself.
I'm going to have to go tell that fellow to shut up.
Ken Weaver is playing Ken Weaver clips during the newscast.
Ken Weaver? Shut your mouth while Ken Weaver's talking.
We go now live to Ken Weaver.
Talking to Ken Weaver?
Wow.
Boy, there's a lot going on right now, Brother Chris.
My goodness. People said they wanted more of you, though, so at least we accomplished that. They said, we need more Ken Weaver during the show. I said, got it. Say no more, fam. Say no more. Donald Trump was asked about tariffs on foreign films. And yes, I'm of the opinion that the movie that was made in France about the cartel member who needed transgender surgeries. That this is the reason why we have tariffs on foreign films. The hero that we don't deserve, Donald Trump, on those tariffs.
Big tariff on films, and we'd like to know if there'd be relief on British.
Well, we're going to have a discussion on that separately. And as you know, we're putting tariffs on that particular film, he said, the movie makers. And we're going to be doing some tariffs to get them because a lot of them have left this country. They all live here. The money comes from here. Everything comes from here, but they make them in other countries.
Did you hear what he was worried about, the reporter, though? He was worried about British films. I want to be like, bro, we don't watch them anyway, right? Is this about Downtown Abbey? Is that still going on? I have no idea. Just watch a rerun. You'll be all right. It's 11 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Eleven o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now, the New York Post says the Justice Department has opened a formal investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James' alleged mortgage fraud. President Trump's unveiled a trade deal with the UK that cuts U.S. tariffs on UK cars to 10%, eliminates tariffs on steel and aluminum, and Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access.
New numbers for the ICE traffic stops conducted here in Nashville. ICE is now saying out of about 400 stops, it has detained 94 people. And as we reported yesterday, at least one is a member of the Tren de Aragua gang, a convicted child sex predator from Mexico who had been deported 2 times earlier. Those among the 94 people detained. Meantime, some Metro Council members crying foul over a phone call made from Homeland Security to Metro Police before the traffic stops began.
Hi, this is Inspector Sanders. I work for Homeland Security. The reason why I'm calling, I was hoping to set up extra patrols at an address off of Brick Church Park. It's our Immigrations and Customs Enforcement facility.
The inspector saying he expected there could be protests over possible detainments. That request is routine, according to Metro Legal Director Wally Dietz. The council members apparently want the city to start notifying residents of security operations that they're aware of in advance. An Austin Peay State University football player was killed Tuesday night after an alleged drunk driver operating a tractor-trailer truck ran into his car. His father says 22-year-old William Hardrick's car flipped several times.
It's just why William? William was the kid that, did everything right, stayed out of trouble, and stayed in school and went through all those obstacles.
Crash on I-65 near Huntsville, Alabama involved 8 cars. Historians, scholars, and conspiracy theorists have a whole new batch of material to pour over. ABC's Jim Ryan says Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's released thousands of pages of documents related to the assassination of Senator Robert F. Kennedy.
Much of the information has already been released in some form, including transcripts of the initial police interview of suspected assassin Sirhan Sirhan hours after the killing of Robert F. Kennedy. Now we get to hear it.
Why don't you talk to me? Hey.
RFK Jr., the current Secretary of Health and Human Services, has said he doesn't believe that Sirhan killed his father, despite a guilty plea entered at trial. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, you get those, betterwater.com. Love those guys. If you want to support the show, support our sponsors, betterwater.com. We are live on the FM dial, the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, and Super Talk TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. If you like this radio station and you like the fact that we do our best to bring you the truth, then help us amplify the message. Honestly, like this is not even just like do it for the Little League team, but like seriously, help us create a larger digital footprint. Hit like, hit subscribe, and share the show. Every single platform we're on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, there's a share button. Just do it for us. We want to get the truth out to as many people that can hear it. You are a massive part of that. You are the fourth man in the crew, along with myself, Mason Fleming, and Ken Weaver in the newsroom. We are down to just one Ken Weaver again. We will not be doubling up moving forward.
I think it's for the best. We can have that many award-winning newscasters in the building.
Well, they might start wrestling each other.
Do you know how many texts I got saying, dude, I thought I was having a stroke?
I thought I was too. I started saying, wait a minute. Am I dreaming myself?
Do I sound as good as I think I do? Hey, tell that sexy sounding guy to turn it down. I'm trying to talk here. Donald Trump, big announcement today, you could say. It's a little bit of an announcement. Minor announcement. We have a trade agreement in principle with the UK. Wild. How does this impact things moving forward? We heard him talking about tariffs on the film industry. Is there going to be a cutout for British films? He said nobody watches them anyway, so don't worry about it. And that was pretty much that. But how does it affect industries that people care about, like agriculture?
Let's talk about American beef really quickly, and it can't be understated. I'm Brooke Rollins, by the way, how important this deal is. And
that's our USDA Secretary, Brooke Rollins.
What this means to American farmers and ranchers. Specific to the beef, this is going to exponentially increase our beef exports. And to be very clear, American beef is the safest, the best quality, and the crown jewel of American agriculture for the world. So I think a really important part of this deal isn't just the ethanol reducing of tariffs from 19 to 0, which for our row croppers is a huge deal, but also for beef. And as we move forward, I know our incredible trade team is looking at all of the meats, all of the produce, really all of our agriculture exports. And I don't know if there's an industry that has been treated more unfairly and has suffered more than our agriculture industry. So we look forward to, I'll be in the UK on Monday, talking to my counterpart over there for next week, and look forward to moving that out across the country. The president is
I think we could say that we have the best in the world, best tractors, the best everything in the world, and they say that our agriculture is, second to none. You understand, and it'll be a great asset. People are going to be able to have options, choice, and they'll have more of it, and that usually means lower prices. How about?
So that's the impact on trade when it comes to agriculture. It's going to be a huge boon for American agriculture, and we'll be following this very closely. Hey, real quick, we need a breaking news sounder.
This is a breaking news update on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
White smoke. White smoke.
Looks like we got a new pope.
We got a new pope.
Yeah.
Okay, so people are jumping up and down in the streets like they just won the World Cup.
Bingo.
I wish I had that level of excitement. I really do. But I'm struggling to care very much.
Yeah, I wasn't born and raised Catholic. I don't mean to disrespect, but I
was raised Catholic.
Oh, well, yeah, you said that.
I think that's part of the issue. Be honest with you. So, white smoke, new pope.
It is a bunch of pomp and circumstance.
White smoke, new pope. All right, got it. Moving on.
Who dis?
Once we find out who the new pope is, we will bring you that immediately. As of right now, we just got smoke.
Just got smoke.
It's like a Dr. Dre concert. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So, as soon as we find out who is the POPE, we will bring it to you live. Deal?
Deal.
All right, moving on. Donald Trump was asked about China once again. He was asked about this yesterday, pulling tariffs off the table for China, and he had a very quick answer.
In order to have substantive negotiations, you have to bring down your 145% tariffs. Are you open to pulling back your tariffs in order to get China to the negotiating table?
No.
Okay, well, that's that. That's God love him. That's Donald Trump yesterday. Are you willing to bring down your tariffs in order to get China back to the negotiating table? He answered with one emphatic
table.
No.
Okay. All right. Deal. He was asked about it again this morning on the heels of this UK trade announcement that if all goes well this weekend in Switzerland with these trade negotiations with China, are we going to see tariffs come down?
Mr. President, if the talks go well this weekend between Secretary Bessent and Ambassador Greer with their Chinese counterparts, not preemptively, but if the talks go well, would you then consider lowering the tariff rate on China?
Well, it could be. I mean, we're going to see. Right now, you can't get any higher. It's at 145, so we know it's coming down. I think we're going to have a very good relationship. I always got along very well with President Xi. That relationship was greatly disturbed by COVID when COVID came in.
China virus. Are we allowed to say that still? Is that? I remember for a while we were like, you were banned if you were saying that.
I mean,
I feel like it's back on the table.
Yeah, I was like, nothing's dropped yet.
Yeah.
I think we're still running on, what was it?
China?
China?
But we get along very well now. I mean, the relationship was hurt with a lot of people, a lot of countries when COVID came in.
Yep.
But I think we're going to have a very good relationship. I expect to have a very good relationship with China, Scott. I think it's a very friendly meeting. They look forward to doing it in an elegant way. China, as you know, has a tremendous trade surplus with us, and we just can't have that. And but I think it's going to be very good for both countries. I would like to see China opened. You know, one of the big things here is, and nobody would know this, but the UK was largely closed. It was very much closed to trade, and now it's opened. And a lot of the financial reporters are very happy about that because so much. I listened to them. I hope they get countries opened up, and then you compete on a fair basis. But you can't compete when you're not allowed to go there. China would be the number one example of that. You know, it's very closed. We almost had it last time before COVID, and that didn't work out. But we made a great deal with China. They had to buy $50 billion worth of our food products, and it was a great deal, doing very well for our farmers. And then when Biden came in, as usual, nothing happened. You know, he didn't enforce it.
Weird.
And it got less.
What a coincidence.
Ultimately, it destroyed a great deal. That was a great deal. But no, I think that we're going to have a good weekend with China. I think they have a lot to gain. I do think they have far more to gain than we do in a sense, but we're going to have a very good weekend.
So that weekend meeting is happening in Switzerland, China, and the U.S. They're going to be sitting down. They're going to be talking. And I don't expect a trade deal to happen this weekend, but it's definitely the first step. Now, he said China has a lot more to gain. I think you can make the same argument that China has a lot more to lose. And China's economy is very much dependent on the American marketplace. And when that access is limited to that marketplace, it makes things a bit uncomfortable for them. Yesterday, on the heels of the announcement of the Swiss-China meeting, Council of Economic Advisors Chairman Steve Murrin was singing Trump's praises, saying, this is exactly what we expected. Trump is the best negotiator, and it's going to be on full display once again as we sit down in Switzerland to discuss things with the Chinese.
Yeah, so I'd say a couple things. First, Secretary Besson and Ambassador Greer are fabulously talented negotiators. The president has put together the best economic policy team in history, and I have faith in them to represent America over there. Now, the second thing I'd say is the president is famous for his negotiating skills. He's one of the best negotiators in history. He's got an entire career of negotiated deals, and I think that many people didn't think that he was going to be able to pull off the Phase 1 deal with China during his first term. And you know what? He did. He pulled that deal off. He pulled it out of a hat. And it was a fabulous deal for America. It had intellectual property considerations. It had chapters on market access. It had chapters on Chinese purchases of agricultural commodities from the United States. It was a great deal. And you know what? It's a shame the Biden administration walked away from it and didn't enforce it and threw away the president's accomplishments. But you know what? He's a great negotiator. And if anyone can make this happen, it's him.
Yeah, listen, I tend to agree. And you can make the same argument with Joe Biden about so many different issues that Trump had heading in the right direction. And had he just sat on his hands, it would have been fine. But he decided to do the exact opposite. The George Costanza of presidents, Joe Biden, it's been an absolute mess. But you're already seeing the positive impacts of Donald Trump's work when it comes to these trade deals and these tariffs. I saw a news story yesterday, the Post-Millennial has it. U.S. manufacturers see a rise in orders due to Trump tariffs. Oh, you mean people are ordering and buying American now because it makes more sense to do that? You mean to tell me that when the playing field is leveled, then people will buy American? Huh. If only somebody had made that case to the American people before. Oh, wait, he did. Shout out to Donald Trump. A number of small and mid-sized U.S. manufacturers are reporting a spike in new orders as businesses move to avoid newly imposed tariffs by Donald Trump. As Trump's tariffs have dramatically reshaped global trade, some American manufacturers are applauding the policies for helping them compete with foreign imports more effectively than in years past. So Jack Schron, president of Jergens Inc., a tool manufacturer, said to the Wall Street Journal, "We are swamped. We're swamped. We're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in both Chicago and Cleveland." Oh, is that a good thing? Yeah. You're damn right that's a good thing. American jobs coming back. He went on to say that his Ohio and Illinois factors are going like gangbusters due to a surge in orders from companies looking to sidestep import tariffs and a rise in defense-related demand over the past 18 months. The Trump administration has defended the tariffs as a strategy to revitalize U.S. manufacturing, and despite what the critics say, the proof is in the pudding, to quote one Joe Biden. That pudding, baby, that pudding's tasting good. Might go full Ron DeSantis, start sticking some fingers in that pudding. What? He did that.
I know. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Just figured. I haven't said anything negative about Ron DeSantis in a while, so I want to remind you.
Yeah, you know what? Got to throw it out there.
Eats pudding with his fingers.
Stay consistent.
The proof is on DeSantis' fingers. What? It's just what people say.
What he said, that's what they said, man. I can't take it back.
People have been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
U.S. companies are offering high school juniors $70,000 a year jobs. This is crazy. This story's wild. So high schoolers across the country, including some a year away from graduation, already have job lines up, and the jobs are lining up in skilled trades. Many of these jobs paying over $50,000 right out of high school, with some reaching into six figures just a few years out from leaving school. This comes as high schools across the nation in the past few years have begun to leave the college for all path that was pushed. Among those young students interviewed by the Wall Street Journal were 17-year-old Father Judge Jr. Elijah Rios, who has received a job offer when he finishes school with Global Affinity, the Bristol, Pennsylvania-based manufacturer. The Catholic school student, who's been taking welding classes, will be paid $68,000 per year. You want to push your kids towards something that is going to actually pay off, and not a liberal studies or gender ideology degree. Push them into the trades, man. This is great news. The jobs are there for these kids, and we need to glamorize the trades much like we glamorize a college degree. This kid is getting out of high school, and he's already got a $68,000 a year job lined up. It's unbelievable. So this is out of a Philadelphia Catholic school, and the school is working closely with companies that are looking for skilled trade workers. We need to mimic this in Tennessee bigly. The industry, they're facing a shortage of workers, baby boomers coming into retirement age, and the welding classrooms at this school are frequented by employers such as the local transit system and submarine manufacturers. And what they're doing is they're coming in and they're making a sales pitch to the student as to why they should come work for them. Wild. Wild. This is the new America that we've been working towards. And I'm here for it. I've said for a while, I'm pushing my boys to the trades, man. Girls, you want to go to college? You want to do business school? You want to be able to manage the business? Awesome. Let's go. But the boys, let's find you a good trade. This is the way. This is absolutely the way. We got a lot more to cover. More highlights from the Donald Trump press conference. Plus, who is this new pope? Are we going to have a name? As soon as we get one, we'll let you know. A lot of breaking news, a lot of moving parts. It's been a fun show so far, if I do say so myself. Appreciate you listening wherever you may be listening on iHeartRadio, tune in or the FM dial. And if you're watching on SuperTalk TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, hit like, hit subscribe, hit share. We appreciate it when you do. It's SuperTalk 99.7 WTN. Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Are you living with back pain, neck pain, knee pain? You know you don't have to be, right? The Wellness Institute of Nashville could actually change your life, and they're not going to use surgery, and they're not going to use drugs. You can actually forget the pills and you can skip that surgery because the Wellness Institute specializes in non-surgical spinal decompression. This is a high-tech therapy that will actually heal your spine and your nerves naturally, and they're going to give it to you for 47% off. The Big 47 deal still happening at the Wellness Institute of Nashville in honor of our president, Donald J. Trump, who's been crushing it. And the doctors at the Wellness Institute, they can crush it for you, man. Dr. Mitchell is trained all over the globe. Dr. Ashley, expert in holistic healing and chiropractic care. So whether it's sciatica, neuropathy, or herniated discs, we have real solutions for you. Right now, again, the Big 47 deal is in full effect. Take 47% off that non-surgical spinal decompression and don't waste another day living in pain. Make the phone call right now. 615-246-5009. The sooner you call, the sooner you heal. 615-246-5009. Painisbad.com.
A new pope has been elected, and any moment we're going to get an announcement of who it is from the Vatican, so we'll let you know that. Also, the Trump administration announcing its first trade deal since imposing a new round of worldwide tariffs. These stories and more coming up at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's Ken Weaver in the newsroom. It's 11:26 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. Oh my gosh, I've been diving through these highlights from this presser. I think I found the best clip. I think I found a gem of a clip that will live on far beyond Donald Trump. You ready? You ready for this? Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know how this guy keeps getting away with it. He was asked about Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Okay? Let's set the scene. He was asked about Pete. Pete came up. I don't know how Pete came up. I don't know. I don't know why. Pete's living in their head rent-free, the reporters, I guess. And Donald, as Keir Starmer would call him, Donald had some thoughts on one Pete Buttigieg.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue.
Okay. He said he rides his bicycle to work with his husband on his back. In all fairness. In all fairness, they have pegs. No, whoa, not that kind. They on the bicycle. There's pegs on the bicycle. So that's how the husband gets on the back.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to make sure I clarify it.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue,
he knows his name too.
Yes, he does.
He is too smart to not know that guy's name.
He's just trumping, man.
Buttigieg.
And when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't know what he was doing.
Between him and Crockett, I'll be honest with you. Jasmine Crockett looks Pete Buttigieg look like a model citizen, doesn't he? Right? Like when you stand him next to Jasmine, you're like, oh, that guy could be president. He's too short, though. Way too short. In the TV era, was like 99% of the time the taller president has won, the taller candidate. So Pete's too short.
Well, that rules me out.
I think Pete's shorter than you.
I gotta look that up.
I think he is.
I don't know, dude. There's not very many people shorter than I am. Well, Dan is.
This is true.
But just barely.
By a hair. So it's a loving relationship. He rides to work on his bicycle with his husband on his back, in all fairness.
Height.
In all fairness.
Let's see here. Pete Buttigieg, height. Nope, he's taller than me.
He is?
He's 5'8".
Oh.
I'm 5'6.5".
I get you some DeSantis lifts.
I've been getting shorter every year since I turned 40.
I'm sorry, Ken.
Every time I go in to see the doctor, I see that scale and I just shy away from it. Don't measure me.
Poor Ken. Howard Lutnick said he's standing next to the best deal maker in history. This is moments ago inside the White House.
I have the best deal maker to my left, and if you don't think that we take advantage of him calling the prime minister and getting that deal done, you don't understand who's the president of the United States. So he's the closer. He gets deals done that we could never get done because he understands business, he understands deals, and that's why we're here today.
And he would never ride a bicycle while being strapped to another man's back. That I can guarantee. It's 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And right now at the Vatican, a new pope has been elected. We saw the white smoke about a half an hour ago, and the new pope's name has been chosen. We're waiting for the Vatican to make that announcement, and we'll let you know as soon as they do. Trump administration announcing its first trade deal since imposing a new round of worldwide tariffs. President Trump says the United Kingdom has approved an agreement with the U.S. that lowers the tariff rate on British auto exports and eliminates it for steel and aluminum, that is. The president also says the deal includes getting rid of customs duties in the U.K., also says more American agriculture products will make it into the U.K. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick also makes the case for a baseline tariff rate while with the president in the Oval Office.
We still have our 10% tariff on, which will produce $6 billion of revenue for the United States. So the idea was, how do they keep their jobs, protect their economy, and do the best for their people while opening the market for us?
Final details still to be seen. The U.S. has made a trade surplus with the U.K. in recent years, or rather had a trade surplus with the U.K. in recent years. Former President Joe Biden appearing on ABC's The View today. claiming Americans are racist for electing Donald Trump instead of Kamala Harris.
I've never seen quite as successful and a consistent campaign undercutting the notion that a woman couldn't lead the country and a woman of mixed race.
And then he was asked about what's next for the Bidens.
I'm well. The family's well, thank God. Things are moving along, and we're getting squared away, trying to figure out what the most significant and consequential role I can play consistent with what I've done in the past.
Reports say Biden's been having trouble getting hired for speaking engagements. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Hand for my friends at the Glock Store, and I got a couple dates that you need to jot down. The first being May 22nd. You see, we're taking the Chris Hand Show on the road, and we're going to do a live broadcast from the Glock Store in advance of their massive open house, which happens on Saturday, May 31st. So just jot those dates down. May 22nd, the Chris Hand Show is live at the Glock Store, which you can come by, join us, be a part of it. And then on Saturday, May 31st, the 5th annual Glock Store open house, which is going to be a party. They throw the open house every year. Roll open the doors, roll out the red carpet. They have raffles, deals, full auto fun. It's going to be a blast. We heard Lenny McGill talking about it yesterday. Very excited about this. They're going to be giving away custom Glock handguns, premium gear, you name it. And even if you don't win a raffle, it's still a lot of winning going on because the deals are going to be insane. You need ammo? Of course you do. Of course you do. We got to check out the Burrow Bullets Blowout. 1,000-round tac packs of 9mm and .223 packed in custom ammo boxes. You're not going to believe these prices. You're going to have to see them to believe them. The deals take place Saturday, May 31st at that 5th annual open house, live at the Glock Store, minutes from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. So come, hang out, score some gear, hang out with WTN at the Glock Store's 5th annual open house. It's 11:38, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? I'm Chris Hand. The show is brought to you by our friends at Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about today, you can find on my Twitter account, at Chris Hand on Air, including that interview between Brett Weinstein and Tucker Carlson, which we discussed earlier in the show. That is definitely something you're going to want to save for later to watch. And then I heard during Ken's newscast that Joe Biden's doing appearances on The View.
Yes, he did.
I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, can you just let the man live? Like, just, like, I really do. And I know he ruined the country, and I know he's a slime ball, and I know that he sold us out. But at a certain level, I'm like, can we let this old guy just retire and, to put it bluntly, just, die in peace and just get some time with his grandkids and, chill.
He's apparently having a hard time landing speaking engagements.
He's having a hard time speaking.
Well,
I was looking up these clips in the meantime, right? Like while we're in the break, I'm looking up these clips.
Yeah.
And the first one I see is the caption was titled "Joe Biden on The View, not going so well."
The projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best health care in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
What?
If we knew what you said, Joe. If we only knew what you said. I don't think he knows what he said either. I don't. Really?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
All right, just keep your finger on that trigger. All right, let's just do that one more time. Let's let it all flow together.
The projects, the benefits. How do you lead the world without having the best infrastructure in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best health care in the world? How do you lead the world without having the best education system in the world? How do you lead the world when you don't have that done?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yeah, it flows. That flows. How, guys? We don't know.
How did he get in?
Nobody knows.
That takes me back to you got a middle from the biddle.
You got a middle from the biddle, baby. Hey, in a Biden economy, rich people are going to do good, and poor folks will have a shot.
When you middle from the biddle.
Got a middle from the biddle, baby.
Joe, my other personal favorite.
And Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce it right. Shanga.
Kawawa.
Kawawa.
Kawawa, baby.
Goodness.
It's so good.
When I say ka, you say wawa. Kawawa. The worst part about all this is he couldn't do it on his own. He couldn't.
No.
Dr. Jill had to do a tandem interview with him. Dr. Jill was there. And
she was there at that thing on The View?
Yeah, she's sitting right there. Sitting right there. She's not wearing a 70s couch print today. She's wearing a Hillary Clinton-inspired pantsuit. But she's sitting there, and they start asking Joe about all these books describing his cognitive decline that are coming out. Looking at you, Jake Tapper. And he went to go answer the question, and she said, "Joe, honey, I got this."
Mr. President, since you left office, there have been a number of books that have come out, deeply sourced from Democratic sources, that claim in your final year there was a dramatic decline in your cognitive abilities. In the final year of your presidency, what is your response to these allegations, or are these sources wrong?
Kawawa. I'll give you one answer, one word. It's brief, but I think it'll answer it for you. Kawawa.
They are wrong. There's nothing to sustain that, number one. Number two, think of what we're left with. We're left with a circumstance where we had an insurrection when I started. Not since the Civil War. We had a circumstance where we were in a position that the pandemic, because of the incompetence of the last outfit, end up over 1 million people dying. 1 million people dying.
Because of China. And we weren't allowed to say that the virus was from China.
China?
We weren't allowed to say it leaked from a lab in Wuhan, China.
China?
Because if we said it was from China, you told us we were racist. Even though it was from China. And then when we would post that online, we'd be banned by your government. Because we weren't allowed to say it was from China.
We're also in a situation where we found ourselves unable to deal with a lot of just basic issues.
Yeah, well, listen, fact check true. You guys could not deal with basic issues. That might be the most truthful statement to ever describe the Biden presidency. I'm listening to this in real time. This is the first time I've heard it. We weren't able to solve basic issues. You think.
And which I won't go into in the interest of time.
Oh, because it's a long list.
In the interest of time.
We couldn't do basic things. In the interest of time, I'm not going to get into it. It's a long list, Joe. It is a long list.
Deal with a lot of just basic issues, and which I won't go into in the interest of time. And so we went to work, and we got it done. And
did you, though?
You know, one of the things that well, and
Alyssa, one of the things.
There it is. I'm talking too long.
There we go. And the old step in to help him out.
She gave him that look that says, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready." And here comes Dr. Jill.
I think is that the people who wrote those books were not in the White House with us, and they didn't see how hard Joe worked every single day. I mean, he'd get up, he'd put in a full day, and
they used to call lids at like 9 a.m. They'd be like, "Yo, that's a wrap." It's like, we haven't had breakfast. That's all you're gonna get from us today.
Whew, that was a rough one.
Oh my gosh.
then at night I'd be in bed, reading my book, and he was still on the phone reading his briefings.
You didn't get to the briefing until the evening? Isn't that like the morning? Is that what you do in the morning?
I bet she was in bed reading a book.
That's what she was doing. What books do you think Dr. Jill's reading?
The briefings to Joe Biden.
It's a Communist Manifesto. She's just sitting there.
Oh, man.
Mein Kampf.
Brushing up on some Karl Marx.
Working with staff. I mean, it was nonstop. It's the White House, being president is not like a job. It's a lifestyle. It's a life that you live. You live it 24 hours a day. That phone can ring at 11 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. It's constant. You never leave it. And Joe worked really hard. I think he was a great president. And if you look at things today...
All right, monkeys, clap. Seals, clap.
How many of them have masks on?
Honestly. I think they still do that.
Oh, they do.
They still
at the View.
They still wear their masks. Gotta keep others safe.
Really hard. I think he was a great president. And if you look at things today, give me Joe Biden anytime.
Wow.
Give me Joe Biden anytime. Joe was surprised about that.
It's like that face he's making is, whoa. He's like, even I don't believe that. Whoa.
That's not what you said on the ride over here.
Give me a break.
I don't know what to say about these two.
Man. Huh.
Yeah, that's Joe. That's Joe. The Trump DOJ, speaking of this ineffective president that we had to deal with for 4 years, the Trump DOJ may release audio of Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur in that classified documents case. You know, the one where they said no jury would convict him. He's a sympathetic old man with memory issues.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Yep. Congress has requested the audio recordings. Biden exerted executive privilege to bar their release, but now we could be getting them for real. So the audio of the interviews of special counsel Robert Hur, who investigated that classified documents against Biden, was requested by Congress, never delivered. Now the Trump administration, per Politico, may be making plans to release the audio. Sign me up. Sign me up. The Her audio will confirm what is one of the biggest cover-ups in American history, said Trump ally Mike Davis. During the Her investigation, Biden said he didn't break any laws regarding the handling of classified information and documents, and further proclaimed that his memory's fine, despite Her's finding the contrary. Wasn't it in those interviews that he couldn't remember where or how his son Beau died? And I'm not doing that to make fun of the guy. Like, it's just sad and honestly a little bit scary. Who we had leading the country towards the end there. And you can make the argument towards the beginning as well. But they might be releasing these tapes. Will it make any impact? Do you think anybody would care? Like, I'm sure that people will listen and there'll be lots of commentary around the tapes, but nothing is going to end up coming of it, right? Like, they'll release them. They'll probably wait in the Trump administration, their masterclass of this. They'll wait for a day where they need to change that narrative, and then they'll release these tapes. And it is definitely going to change the narrative. Wild stuff. A story that I didn't get a chance to get to today, but I did want to make sure that I mention, because I think that it is a big story. One that could get James O'Keefe murdered. Let's just put it blunt, as blunt as we can. James O'Keefe could get murdered over this story. He got on undercover video a top advisor of Prince Andrew claiming that he was bleeping underage girls. This is a wild tape from O'Keefe Media Group, and they say that there's more reporting coming from James O'Keefe today. A lot of rumors that the reporting that could come out today may involve one Pam Bondi and Epstein file cover-ups. But I don't know. This is just the rumors on the internet. I haven't seen anything to confirm that, other than one Pam Bondi still in a teaser video from O'Keefe Media Group. But he dropped this bombshell yesterday. This is a royal family advisor, John Bryan. He was Prince Andrew's crisis advisor, and in with the British royal family. And John Bryan said on hidden camera that Prince Andrew was bleeping underage girls.
Prince Andrew, he was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his family. I was really pissed because he lied to me. Lied about Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was underage girls. That's not cool.
No, it's not cool. Again, that's John Bryan, Prince Andrew's crisis advisor, saying that he was pissed because he covered for Prince Andrew in the Daily Mail, saying all of this was lies, and then he found out that Andrew was lying to him, and he was blanking underage girls, to which he says, that's not cool. I wish that this would have dropped sooner. I think we could have used this a couple of years ago, but here we are. This isn't necessarily new information. And I don't know how much is going to come of this, but geez, I do know that there's got to be some people in the British royal family today who are livid at James O'Keefe and at this individual, John Bryan, Prince Andrew's crisis advisor, who's in deep with the British royal family. We'll be following this James O'Keefe stuff and bring you updates should they become available, and any new James O'Keefe reporting that may drop. We'll have it for you here tomorrow on the show. And if you want to see this video that James O'Keefe dropped yesterday in regards to Prince Andrew and him lying about Epstein, I have retweeted it, and you can find it on my X account at Chris Hand on Air. It's 11:52 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
What?
Oh, sorry about that. Chad and myself were staring at a balcony.
Waiting.
On Pope Watch.
Pope Watch.
It's 11:56, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The show is brought to you by Better Water LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I just don't get it, man.
Oh, the Pope comes out and goes, yeah! It's like, oh, whoa. I don't know who it's going to be. There was the three favorites. I think it's
It was
Parolin.
It was Black Pope, Asian Pope, or...
Yeah. Tagley is the guy from, I think it's Singapore or somewhere.
Tagley's Asian Pope.
And then you've got Turkson, who is from Africa.
Black
and then
Pope.
you've got Pietro Parolin, who is from Italy, I think.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see.
The most conservative out of the three...
Turkson.
Would be Black Pope, right?
Yeah. He's pretty conservative. You know what I mean? By all accounts, they're all conservative comparatively to maybe the average person. But as far as the biblical side of things, yes, I would say Turkson would probably be that guy.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe they went just sideways. Said, no, check it out. We Piers Morgan. I don't know.
I just know it wasn't orange smoke, so it's
Trump's
not going to be,
was it me?
Trump.
No, it's not you. You're fine.
I was on the phone with Keir Starmer. Did I miss a call? Did I miss a call? I heard there was smoke.
Oh, I didn't get it? Darn. So this will be interesting.
I do know that sources have said Stone Cold Steve Austin will not be the new pope.
No, he will not.
Which is it's a shame.
No,
that's who I was pulling for.
Really? He threw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that it's one of those three. Well, I would bet that, and this will be interesting to find out here because I got to do a whole new show later on.
Yeah. Man, I was watching all the news this morning. I mean, we were flying by the seat of our pants this morning when it came to Trump and then Pope smoke and all that stuff. And I was literally sitting here going, "Oh, it's a re-record day for Chad.
That's it.
Hey,
for
get
my
ready.
National
get ready.
show. The entire show that I did this morning replays in the West, and we'll update a few pieces here and there, but most of it's a lot of stuff that wacky stuff, fun stuff. This is all Pope Day, so I will go home and Pope it out. A little bit of the UK.
Do you think that Trump is going to be a little bit upset that the new Pope is stealing his thunder on the UK trade deal?
Probably.
They couldn't wait till tomorrow.
Could not wait till tomorrow. They didn't know, did they? Because they're all sequestered, so they have no idea what's going on. Remember what that guy said? They were raw dogging.
Can you believe they said that?
That was so funny. I'm like, what? What? I don't think you think. Yes, is that what kids are saying? But it's not really. That's not what most people think it is.
They're saying it because it's funny because that's not what it is.
Yes. Yeah. It's not them sitting in an airplane for 12 hours staring at the back of a chair. That's what they call it, but reality. So this will be it's a day, Chris, is what it is. It's a day.
We're going to have a day. What other news stories are you paying attention to?
We're going to talk about Netflix made changes coming soon. And, it's funny, all the stuff we talk about, India, which is, by the way, still a massive story, the Pope, all these things. For us, Netflix is getting ready to make all these big changes, and we don't like change in this country. And how many times have you updated your phone and it's all new and you're like, for the next 2 days, you're just beyond pissed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Netflix, we're going to talk about that. Talk a little bit about what's going on with trade, the UK, India. Is everybody getting ready to blow each other up even more?
Are we doing more interpretive dance or are we doing nukes?
A little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of both. The guy comes down with his foot and he hits the thing and then it flies over.
Chad's in next. He'll cover all of this for you and more on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.